in order to identify better strategies and ways to engage, enable, and empower diaspora communities for national development, the federal government instituted the Diaspora Day and Conference. The 2016 Diaspora Day has as focus harnessing the potentials of the diaspora for national development. Underscore, the Diaspora program will therefore take on the Permanent Secretary, Political Affairs, Office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Ambassador Olukunle Bamgoshe. We also have our interviews with some Nigerians in the diaspora, our Diasporan of the Week, news, and your mails. Welcome to the Diaspora. I am Gabriel Odu. We begin our conversation with Ambassador Olukunle Bamgoshe, Permanent Secretary, Political Affairs, Office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, and Chairman, Local Organizing Committee, Diaspora Day.
I think the Diaspora Day Conference is something that has been on since 2005. Usually we've been having it annually, and of course there is a specific date, which is July 25th, that we hold this event. It's a day that is set aside to celebrate Nigerians in diaspora, one, to mobilize them, to also engage them, and to also make sure that they are also involved and then contribute their own quota to national development.
We will have a lot of Nigerians outside this country. For instance, the United States. President Obama said one day that if a Nigerian medical doctors in the United States leave, the system will collapse. Do Nigeria recognize the fact that we have enormous great brains outside these shores?
Of course we do, and you will also remember that before 2005, I want to believe that the former president, Obasanjo, realizing the potentials of Nigerians in diaspora and what they can contribute to national development, started with this idea of the diaspora, and of course the Nigerians in diaspora organization, which has become very preeminent now. We have them replicated in virtually all the countries of the world, and they have been very active in also making sure that they commit their own, contribute their own quota to our national development. So it's not only Nigeria. As a policy, there are some countries that have made it a policy to harness the potentials of their own the people in the diaspora, like China, for instance. And you also know that I think before, even in the 60s, you see the federal government, the state government, sending their citizens or their, to overseas for studying. But the thing in Nigeria is that people study abroad on scholarship, but they don't come back.
Yeah.
So that's why we have the difference. In some of these countries, it's a deliberate policy. You go out, you come back, and of course the government empowers you. But in our own is that you go outside the country, maybe after your studies, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, then you decide to stay, and that's the thing. But I think the essence of what President Obama started now is to really harness, bring these people back to now contribute. Even if the scholarship that you used, I mean, many of us, maybe I didn't enjoy it, right, but many of those who enjoyed it maybe didn't even pay back. Yeah. So now that you have the capacity to now pay back, maybe may not be in cash, but at least in kind. I think that's the essence. The area of the NIDO, yeah, and the way we want the Nigerians in diaspora to respond to a quest for national development, of course, contribute their own quota. So we are changing and we are more resolute now, more than ever. One, we don't want the situation on this conference this year will be different from what we've had in the past. Right. In the past, people will come and pontificate. We know our problems. We know our roads are bad. We know we have challenges with power. We know we have challenges in the area of education, even the health. Our hospitals may not be maybe equipped well enough. We know all those things. Right. So we don't need Nigerians in diaspora to come and tell us what we already know. But we want to see what they can contribute to solving some of these problems or addressing some of these challenges we have. And I think that's the focus this year. So this year, we don't want people to come and tell us We want people who will address, who will contribute to national development in terms of making commitments. Correct. And this year we've, since I came on board as the permanent secretary, I've told Nigerians that's the focus of government. So, and people have been responding. This year we are expecting people have called me from as far as Vanuatu. They want to come and then, of course, go to some states. Some have bought drugs and they want us to facilitate a waiver for them to come and do this. Some said they want to come and buy roofing sheets to come and roof some of the houses, the IDPs. You know, some are coming for youth empowerment, and after which they will train youths on how to empower themselves, and then, of course, also empower them with cash to start. So these are the kind of things we want. Concrete deliverables, not to come and present papers, and then at the end of the day you go. At the end of the day, government commits millions to accommodate them, to feed them, and of course to pay and all the other incidentals. And at the end of the day, there's nothing for government. No, I think that one has to stop. So we only give space and time to those who have something to contribute to Nigeria, and we are very resolute on that. So
when is the conference coming up?
The conference is July 25th to 26th, but arrival date is 24th of this month.
Yeah.
And next is the potentials of Nigeria, of Diaspora for national development. So that is the theme. You want them to really come and contribute in whatever field, be it the medical field, or even if you are nurses, you can come and teach some of our nurses if there's anything. And also in, by the way, I was the acting high commissioner in London before I came over, and I know that there are some Nigerian policemen, of course British police, but of Nigerian descent, okay, who are also eager to come to Nigeria to contribute. So I've been engaging with them to see if, even in terms of training, yes, if they can come and train our policemen. So we are engaging with them. So I think this year things will be quite different. So we are really resolute on making sure that the Nigerians in diaspora that will come for this conference and those who have something to contribute. So that informs why we have that theme, harnessing the potentials of the diaspora for national development. Even in as much as we want to mobilize Nigerians in diaspora, you can't force them.
Yes.
You know, like I told some people, I say, if you even mentoring, you know, you can go to your former school. It doesn't matter if you school in Nigeria, maybe your secondary school. You can go to your secondary school and mentor some people, yes, and maybe establish a club, bring some people in and mentor them. Where you go, as long as it's the Nigerian space, we don't care. You know, if you decide to go to, some have decided they want to go to Anambra, some Benue, some, we don't care. Right. But as long as it's within, whatever you are doing is within Nigeria, we are good for that.
Are there strategic mechanisms you're putting in place that these endeavors are monitored to the letter, so that by next year we will not be repeating ourselves?
What we are going to try to do is we have a website, nnvs.nigeria.org, where Nigerians in diaspora can go and register for this conference. And then there, when you are registering, there is a place there where you have commitments. And when you tick that you have a commitment either in the area of medicine, we have the drawdown of the list of where you can. Then we ask you for the specific commitment that you can make. So when you make, we compile that, which you have done, and then when you come, we register you. We also have tables where people who have not made any commitment or who are still thinking of the commitments they will make, will come and make commitment. Then you tell us. For instance, if you tell us, okay, I'm in loss, but I'm going to come to Nigeria in November, and I'm going to bring some drugs, and of course, maybe I will serve the National Hospital. You have made that commitment. We try, if time allows, we will announce it. We announce your name. This person has made this commitment, you know. And then, of course, because we have your details, we have your coordinates, we'll follow you up. Okay. We call you, look, you have made this commitment, we are waiting for you, so that we can provide the logistics. Yeah, maybe you need security, maybe you need transport. We provide that. Government will provide that. But we'll follow you up, and that's the essence. Correct. Unlike before, when you go and it's an annual event, you go and then come back the following year, you go and come back and nothing. So I think it's going to be different this year.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank
nice
you. Thank you. It's nice meeting you too.
Yes,
Thank
so
you.
the Diaspora will also make up its own follow-up to ensure that you follow. We monitor you and monitor the Diaspora.
No problem.
Next on our lineup are members of Nigerians in the diaspora organizations, NIDO. Your professional qualification or your expertise in working there?
I have a master's degree in criminal justice, law enforcement science with forensic expertise background, and also with UPS I'm into logistics, and those are some of the things that I will be bringing back to Nigeria. And again, I said I worked for UPS for 32 years. I'm retired now from UPS. So I've been back in Nigeria now for about a year, working on some business enterprise and trying to bring back some of our diasporans resource and partners to come here and do businesses or form businesses. For example, we have an agric partners that we'll be bringing to work with us so we can do the empowerment to help the government. We also work with other energy company. So, you know, my stay in the U.S. and overseas have given me that opportunity to network so that we can bring this resource into Nigeria so we can coordinate and create jobs and also create the opportunity to assist the government from the outside, not within the government.
How well can the government, Nigeria as a country, harness these potentials from the diaspora community for national development?
Well, as is well known, for example, other countries have used their diasporans, for example, India, Israel, Philippines, and others have used their diasporans to bring them back with providing an enabling environment so that they can tap on the skills that these individuals have learned while they were abroad, either be it engineers, doctors, other professionals that are out there to come into Nigeria with the skill rather than bringing an expert. You can bring a Nigerian expert that is already a Nigerian, know the terrain, that will be able to work with the government. And again, it's not just come and talk, it's actually come and develop the project, develop the work, and employ the youth. The youth is mostly the target in trying to get them to get some jobs so that they will have potential to do it, because we just bring the resource and the knowledge and also the know-how to help. And we work with Nigerians. Believe it or not, there are qualified Nigerians in Nigerians that we work together, because we coming from the diaspora, we need people here that know the area to work with. And since I have come, I've met with some individuals that we've been working together in setting up different businesses that will help the government and also the people in Nigeria at large in terms of the nation building and the development also of entrepreneurs.
With your skill in forensic,
right?
Yes, how can your country benefit from that?
Well, it's very simple. With forensic, actually, I did participate this year when I came last year, actually, in the election, because I do mostly biometric forensic in terms of proving using the fingerprint impression, whether it's real or also. And I know the police department and the criminal part will be the people interested. Even INEC will be interested in some of my skill in establishing, since we've gone with biometric identification in the electoral process. So those are the skill I possess in terms of assisting in providing what is a good print and what is a bad print, and also authenticating any procedure that is done, or any other criminal activities, to lift fingerprint from a crime scene, to assist and process and identify fingerprint. And I'm sure Nigeria will have somewhat of a database that they have criminal fingerprint or individual fingerprint, whereby a matching will be very easy to do.
Two things.
True.
One, is the environment created for diasporans, Nigerians to come down home and give their skills? Are the diasporans willing to give their skills? Two things. Where do we find this?
I will take the last question first. Yes, right. Yes. The diasporans are willing to come and give their skill in Nigeria. Right. Okay, now I'll take the first question. In terms of coming, there have to be an environment that is set up to be able to access these skills you're talking about. And I know with this year's Diasporans Day that we are working directly with the NMVS and the SGF office. This establishment should be done. And the other thing also that will help with this is the diaspora bill that is, I know it's been passed by both houses or is still under reading. Once that is done, you need to have a structure so that that structure will work with the diasporans out there, because identifying to bring them in there. But the one important thing is the database. You need to know where these skills are. You can't just say all diasporans and the rest. So a database has to be created and have the diaspora register, which will help the government better manage these talents so that they can do a query of, okay, I need some medical doctors, I need engineers, I need this. I'll be able to look at the database. So that database is key, that need to be established for the diaspora so that we can use that to narrow in where the diasporans are to bring. So in both questions is doable. We just have to work together with the federal government, which have started with this Diaspora Day now. So I'm hoping that NMVS will take this and run with it with the diasporans.
I'm George Manowike. I studied in Ukraine. My first degree is in medicine. I graduated in '94. 2005, I took an MBA program in Ukraine also to read international economic relations.
You can speak Russian?
I speak Russian fluently, and I write Russian. I studied in Russian language. I read medicine in Russian.
Tell us about yourself in Russian.
Меня зовут George Manowike. Из Нигерии. Учился в Харьковском медицинском университете. Закончил в 1994 году. После чего я поступил в Харьковский государственный университет имени Каразина на международный экономический факультет, где я закончил в 2007 году. А сейчас работаю самостоятельный бизнесмен. И на сегодняшний день я являюсь представителем нигерийской диаспоры в Европе.
Thank you very much. It's enough. I understood everything. I wonder if others, it's only between two of us that understand the language.
Absolutely.
All right. What are you bringing to the table to ensure that this year's Diaspora Day and Conference harness sufficiently your experiences for national development?
I think first and foremost, let me say that this year's event is going to be a departure from the previous ones. It is going to give us an opportunity to be able to not only interact, but to engage the diaspora community one-on-one. And when the organizer of this year's event say it is going to be project-oriented, we expect to take away deliverables from this year's event. That means there will be concrete proposals on projects. There will be deliverables. Projects have to be itemized. We are going to come up with conceptualized projects. We are going to come up with timelines when these projects can be executed, and these projects have to have a way of impacting not only on the economic situation of the country, but also on the lives of ordinary Nigerians. Europe that I represent, the Diaspora Europe that I represent, cuts across 19 chapters.
19 chapters?
Yes, and each chapter, each country is represented by a chapter. So you talk about UK, we have 2 chapters, UK South and UK North, and then all the way to Russia and Ukraine, where I come from. So you can understand that we have varieties of opportunities that are bound in Europe that we can bring to bear in Nigeria. So for this year's event, we are looking at a couple of projects. One, there is a project we've coined No Child Left Behind. It's an ICT for education project.
Okay.
This is a project that has been actualized in other West African countries, Burkina Faso, Niger Republic, and just I think last year the Kano State government also initiated this project. It is an educational project where students the school curriculum of say the tertiary institutions are embedded in a tablet, and this is now used in the classrooms to educate the students. It affords the students an opportunity to be IT, they learn IT because it's what is driving the future. Right. So we feel that instead of carrying, the large volumes of notebooks and, textbooks, we can put all this together in an electronic format, and this is embedded in the tablet. And then each student has this. And also because of our peculiarity about, unstable power supply, this system comes with its own power supply systems. It's like a kit, powered by solar. The school kit has a solar battery. It has also reading lamp for students, because we try to take into consideration the less privileged, the students who are living in remote areas. How do they have access to affordable education and using the ICT as a tool? And then we are also talking about engaging some ministries or agencies in also some innovation in the area of power. We have the mini hydros, which we think we can bring on board. The mini hydro is a concept that is working in many countries, where you have you don't need to have abundant water supply to be able to put this system into use. You can generate as low as 500 kVA, below 1 megawatt. So this can serve communities, it can serve villages, and so on and so forth.
If you are just joining us, this is the Diaspora on the NTA. Stay right there.
NTA, Nigerian Television Authority. For more information and news updates, visit our website at www.nta.ng, or you can follow us on Twitter at NTA News Now, or you can like us on Facebook at NTA Network News. Stay connected on our YouTube channel at www.youtube.com/NTA News Online. Watch our live stream at www.nta.ng/live. NTA, you can't beat the rich.
Now to our Diasporan of the week.
Meet you again.
It's good meeting you.
Yeah, what's the name?
My name is Christopher Anwa, and I'm from Washington, D.C. in USA. I've been practicing law there for about 20-something years, and also been recently admitted to the Nigerian bar as a barrister. Actually, my legal story has been a little complicated. I was in the corporate law. I did that for some years. I was also in the property law. But then I ended up for the past 15 years concentrating on special education law. Special education law is actually representing kids or students that are disabled. It could be hearing impaired, speech impaired, occupational therapies, physical, neurological, clinical, whatever disability, to make sure, and that is personalized, to make sure that the school system are able to provide individualized services as required by the law to attend to their specific needs. Because what we find out, or what I found out over the years, is that there are regulations, or they are non-existing, and the students are neglected. If you're hearing impaired, I find out that they will be in a classroom, not even understanding what this teacher is saying. And then they repeat the grades 2-3 times, over and over, but nobody paying particular attention to that particular student. So it's important for somebody to be able to key in and identify that student. It's not enough to just fail the student over and over.
So how do you intervene when there is a breach of this?
Well, the parents call me, and sometimes the court system, the judges, the magistrates also refer some juvenile delinquents in the court system to me. What I found out in Nigeria is that the laws are not enough to address those issues. So what I'm hoping, especially now that I'm also licensed in Nigeria to practice law, is to use some advocacy, go to the National Assembly, go to state assemblies, and try to encourage them to design some laws and policies that will target the needs of those students.
Our email remains diasporanta@gmail.com. Our Twitter handle @the Diaspora, or text only to +234 803311 4000. That's it for this week. Bye.